So I was saying I'm a front-end developer and I have had opportunity to work with healthcare to fintech based companies. When my like I have worked with Kaiser Permanente Fidelity Investments, and there I got the opportunity to basically hone my front-end skills. And there I used React, Angular, JavaScript, TypeScript, and also got to work on some backend as well. So yeah, like and I also love to do some data structures and algorithm as well. Being a front-end developer, I like to uh, balance it out as a full stack developer.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, that's great. Okay, so I will be asking questions
sure,
in all the front-end technologies like HTML, JavaScript, CSS, everything.
sure,
Okay.
sure.
Okay. Can you tell me like so do you know any HTML5 APIs? Have you implemented anything?
HTML5 API,
Yeah.
by that you mean like anything like JavaScript based or document dot query selector? Do you mean that?
No,
Or
I'm asking especially for that, any HTML5 APIs, kind of a geolocation, those
uh,
things.
no, I haven't used such API endpoints yet, geolocations
Okay.
or anything of that sort. I've used, I'm not sure, but yeah.
Have you used the session storage, anything like
Yeah,
that?
so I was going to get there, but it's basically JavaScript, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I have used it, session storage and local storage.
Okay. Okay. Do you know what is the difference between the browser cookies and local storage?
So yeah, like browser cookies are basically set by the server, and it is sent across to the client when we request certain data from the server. So yeah, like that cookie is basically we use for authentication purposes or tracking the user behavior. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's great.
Like let me know if I just if you want to know more, I can
Yeah,
expand
yeah,
on
that's fine.
that.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine. Yeah.
let me know.
Okay. So, so what is the use of JavaScript in the front end?
So JavaScript is basically you can manipulate certain like you can access the DOM elements basically and assign it values to make HTML as a static web page, right? So JavaScript basically helps it to make a dynamic. You can fetch APIs using JavaScript, then whatever the data that JSON comes, you can use that to populate the elements onto the HTML side. So yeah, basically it helps us to make HTML more interactive. That's what I'll think
Okay.
JavaScript helps with. Yeah, it's a programming
Can you
language
tell me,
basically. Yeah.
okay, can you tell me any, standalone elements in HTML5?
Standalone elements. So if I'm not sure if what do you mean by standalone, but are you saying that tags like how we called H1 tag, header, footer?
Yeah, those
Uh,
are the elements. Like,
yeah.
I'm just asking, like, do you know what is standalone tag or standalone elements?
Um, I'm not sure like about standalone tags or elements. Like
An element which won't have mostly the closing tag. It won't
okay,
come as a
yeah,
pair.
yeah. Then I know those like input tags, text area are basically that. Then we break tag, I believe. So you said don't have a closing tag. That's what you said.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I got it. So how will you turn off HTML? Do you know HTML5 will do that, automatic form validation?
Automatic form validation. I'm not sure about like
You know,
HTML5 doing the
how
form.
how will you how will you do HTML5 validation? form validation? How will you
Oh, okay.
implement that?
So form validation, if suppose that input is there, I give specify an input. Then if I give a type of email and then yeah, so for email I know that it's if you don't specify
How will
the
you make any particular fields mandatory?
so there is attribute called as required. Then you can set it on the input fields to make it required. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know how will you turn off that HTML5 validation? Consider that
By
you are going to implement that validation in React or in a JavaScript. Okay. So you have to turn off the HTML5 validation, the default browser validation. How will you turn off that?
Yeah, so if we don't specify the type of it, like you keep it text, then you can basically skip, like make it a regular uh, like text box and skip the validation.
Okay. So do you know, is there any particular attribute we can use it in the form tag? We can turn it off the
Um,
validation.
I'm like I cannot recall it on top of my head, but like if I want to make it a regular element, like if I just keep it a text box, then I believe it won't validate it. Like if I keep it email, if I specify the type email, it will validate it according to that. But if I just keep a text box, text,
Okay.
yeah, so
Fine. Okay.
yeah,
So can you tell
that
me how will you implement a responsive web design in CSS?
So, if you say responsive web design, I believe I can use Flexbox or Grid and make sure that my the width that I'm specifying is not fixed width, and it is in terms of like percentage, uh, yeah, like that, and then that if I implement the development in that way, basically I can make it responsive.
That only thing, like is there any specific features available in CSS3 to make that to design the responsive web pages?
So yeah, like also you can use media screens to make it
Right.
responsive according to
Okay.
different screen
So you
sizes.
say about media queries. Do you know what is mobile first approach?
So mobile first approach, I believe there are min and max screen widths, right? So in order to target mobile screens, we can specify uh, the media screen size from 200 to 700, I believe. Then for the tabs, we can go from like keep increasing that number until like
Okay.
one. Yeah, so we can segregate those media screens for different screen devices, and we can target specific devices accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So in TypeScript or JavaScript, how will you merge two JSON objects or two JSON arrays? How will you do the JSON merging?
Merge JSONs.
How
That
will you merge two JSON objects?
um
Consider there are array of objects. Okay. How will you merge two JSON objects?
So array of objects, then there is a spread operator that you can use to merge those operator, or then there is also a concat method on the array. So I can use that to merge those two array of objects together. So yeah, I can
Okay.
use any one of those methods.
Okay. 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 In React, so what is virtual DOM and how it is differs from that regular HTML5 DOM?
So basically, yeah, like React uses virtual DOM. For like it keeps a copy of the actual DOM inside the memory. So whatever changes that we make is first like compared with the virtual DOM, and the changes are reflected back to the actual DOM, so that it saves the like rendering part of the DOM if there are no changes onto the part of the like virtual DOM, like if the virtual DOM doesn't change. So yeah, like that's how it makes that is one of the pros of using React, that it makes rendering faster by using virtual DOM.
Okay. So how will you communicate between components?
Communicate between components, basically, if you if you have parent-child components, then you can obviously do prop drilling. Like you can pass the state of the parent component via props to the child component, and when that state changes, it will be reflected in child as well. So you can do that, or else you can use callbacks. If your child wants to communicate with your parent, then you can definitely pass a callback function, which can then be triggered from the child and which can communicate to parent. You can do that, or else you can definitely create a global state for both parent child. So any of which will trigger the state. All that components which are referring to that state will get re-rendered. Yeah.
Okay. So do you know GraphQL?
Yeah. I have some idea about it. Yeah.
Do you know the difference between the regular RESTful APIs and GraphQL APIs?
Yeah. Just sorry. Yeah. So
No, it's fine.
GraphQL is basically, it's both are protocol over which client and server communicates. Basically, GraphQL uses post method for every for every request that a user makes to client. Sorry, user makes to the server, and basically it has a query. You can query the server for any kind of data that you want, and it maintains a schema that you define at the server. So you basically you can query query to the server using that schema specific what specific um, uh, de- items you want from the server. So that is one of the things, and it has mutations. Basically, when you want to update something or send a delete request to the server, so you can use mutations. So yeah, like that is one of the things, and it saves creating multiple API endpoints, basically. So these are few fundamental differences between REST and GraphQL.
Okay. Okay, that's great. Uh, can you just explain shortly how will you set up that React working environment? What are
Um,
the build tools that you will use? How will you set up that React working environment?
so the React working environment, excuse me. So yeah, if I want to build a React working environment, I'll basically first create a React app. Then once the React app is being created, like, do I have to consider taking requirements, or
No,
like
no,
whether
just a simple no need for any requirement. Understood.
so yeah, like so once I create the React app, then basically what I will do is I'll set up my ES linting so that I avoid compile time errors, or I follow a strict guidelines of the styling of writing my JavaScript code across. So yeah, that's what I'll do, and then I'll set up the prettier to have a standard formatting, and also I will set up a Husky. Yeah, by doing that, whenever I make a commit, it will check all the components that it is up to the ES linting standards, and also I can set up the testing of all the API and all the components. So So yeah, like these are some of the basic things that I'll do. I'll also create a component folder, asset folder for storing all the assets. Then hooks folder would be also needed. Then also global styles, whatever global styles that I'll be
Okay.
needing. So I'll create a folder for that. These would be few of the things on top of my head right now that I'll do. Um, other than that, yeah,
Okay,
I'll
that's fine.
also, yep,
That's fine. Can you tell me how will you do that? No, how will you consume the already deployed RESTful APIs? Consider that the APIs are available in the server. Okay,
okay,
so you
yeah,
just need to only do the front end development in your local environment.
okay.
Okay, how will you consume that APIs?
So basically, okay, consuming the APIs, right?
Yeah, just in your
So,
development environment. No, just in your development environment, you have to
mhm.
consume the APIs.
Yeah, sure. So for consuming the API, basically in a React application, let's say you can use Fetch or Axios. Axios is a third-party library that you can install in your environment. So that would be the first step of doing that. And then once that is done, I will,
Uh, sometimes like you will get that cars error, right?
yeah.
How will you avoid the cars error?
So course error, basically once you have the course error, I believe that um, it's the server where you have to enable the course and also make the what do you call it? Make the UI endpoint that we are accessing the URL, make it available there so
Okay,
that
so
it does not ignores the
do you
request.
know? Okay, do you know how to set up the proxy in your local working environment?
Yeah, you can also set up that proxy, but I'm not sure. Like I have Googled it while setting that up, but
Okay,
I'm not sure the exact steps you can use. But while working with the server, I guess you can specify the URL parameters that the server should serve, so that it doesn't throw uh,
okay. Do you
cross
have
errors.
any React running in your local machine? Any React no any test application or any learning application running in your local?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, can you quickly implement this get API? Okay, you can share your screen.
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
just get API. It will have that list of blog posts. Okay,
Okay.
just
Sure.
just to display the title and the body text. Okay.
Host disabled participant screen sharing. So I guess it's disabled from your end.
Okay. Okay. Not sure why.
I can write out the code in notes if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Uh, or is the whiteboard working? I'm not sure if you. Okay, so note is not enabled for your account. Let's see. Is there a chat or anything? Yeah, chat is there, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I messaged you the API.
messaged me. Where can I see the message? Chat preview. Can you resend it again? Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, I see that. I see that there was a pop-up on top of it, so I was not able to see it. So
Okay.
I'll just let you know what I'm doing. So basically, whenever we are uh, like sending a request to an API, we need to do it asynchronously as it is. Uh,
Mm.
it cannot be done synchronously. So the function that will be making that API call should be async. So I'll specify a keyword async in front of it, and then basically let's name it. What is this? JSON, right? Fetch
Mm.
JSON. I'll call the function, and I will then await await the fetch, and specify the URL that you have given me. It's a get request, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
Just a get request. It will, have the list of blog posts.
okay.
Each will have. You can open it in the browser. You can see it. It
Okay.
will just have that, title and the body text. That's it.
Got it. So once the data is with me, like I'm using await and then fetch, specifying the URL. Then data is with me. I so basically await needs to convert that into a JSON. So that is again a promise. So yeah, I can do that with res.json, and the data would be with me. And yeah, so I will, and basically I have to also wrap it under try catch blocks so that if there are any errors, I can catch them and possibly uh, yeah, work on error if any. Yep. So that's what I'll do, and this is what I'll do basically.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Uh, okay, Smith. I will, speak to HR. Okay. They will. I will send the feedback to them. They will call
Okay.
you. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Do you have any feedback for me?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you're good.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prakash.
Yeah. No
And
issues.
and thanks for taking out time for interviewing me.
Yeah. No. No issues. No issues. Yeah.
Yeah. And happy Friday.
Yeah. You too. You too. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Happy Friday. Happy Diwali. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Happy Diwali. Bye.